right, welcome in. We are up on the strip. We had some good live streams yesterday, so go and check those replays out. Waiting for some people to get in here. Granddad here, what's going on, Madison? How you doing? Are you late for what? Jen, what's going on? Mauricio, what's going on, buddy? Give me a call later on tonight. Mic sounds a bit low. You know what? I don't have the mic on, so let me adjust the volume here. How long is today live going to be? I have no idea. We never really have an idea exactly how long we're going to be live for. An hour, 4 hours, who knows? Let me pull over up here and I will adjust the volume a little bit. Alan, what's going on? Mr. Mud, what's going on? All right, let's fix this. There we go. That should be better now. I don't have the microphones hooked up right now. Figure a lot of spots we don't really need them. We don't need to drown out the noise, but if we go inside anywhere, we'll probably end up putting them in a little bit better, like a tiny bit. Maybe you need to bring your volume up a little bit. Everybody else, how's the sound today? This is normally the setting I have it on when I don't have a mic. It's a little bit low, okay. Let me see if I can make another small adjustment. Do that up here.
It smells like Vegas.
Low but manageable, okay. We'll do a little bit more. Just gotta pull over. Buttons to push. Was checking prices for stays at New York in middle of May for 3 days. Is that the all-inclusive? Is that they're running that all-inclusive deal? I mean, 3 days is what? At $300, that's 100 hours a night. So, Bill, what's going on? Mud says pump up the volume. Bill, what's going on? There we go. That's about as high as I can go because it is blinking yellow when I talk. So, Gaga sounds fine. Okay. Yeah, I wish there was a way that like YouTube had a separate volume for the ads, because that happens to me all the time too. I'll be listening to it real low, especially if I have my earbuds in. All right, so we are going to go check out that little pop-up down at Bally's, Tropicana, the old Tropicana site, the new Las Vegas A's stadium. They have a little pop-up casino. So the reason they do that is They need to have a certain amount of gaming there in certain time periods to keep their gaming license. So that's why they have that pop-up. But we thought it looked kind of cool yesterday on the live stream. So we're gonna go down there, maybe drop like 40 bucks in the machine. I'm not a big gambler, so. Mud, you missed it last night. We found another spot for pushers. Not just at Bellagio. Park MGM had a couple pushers last night right outside of Italy. So we're gonna maybe start making that like a little stop or something like that. Ooh, excuse me. And then there was a few more pushers at Bellagio last night at the main entrance. So that little pop-up casino is only open till 5 o'clock though, so that's gonna be our first stop. I should have parked down that end of the strip, but I had to drop my son off at work. He's on the north end of the strip. So, and I didn't feel like driving anymore. Do I think prices will ever go down, or is it inflation priced like the new normal? Well, prices back in the day, which is what a lot of people always refer back to, the early 2000s, and it's kind of not really fair timeline in Vegas history to really compare prices, right? Because back then there were, you know, a dozen or more casino operators, and they all had to compete for everybody, right? MGM and Caesars didn't own the entire strip basically like they do now. So back then, the, you know, Tropicana, you had Sands, you had MGM, Circus, you know, you had a whole bunch of different casino operators. So they were all competing for everybody. So they were always keeping the prices low. If you think about it, and you look at hotel prices in other parts of the country, Vegas prices are still way cheaper than a lot of other cities like Nashville, Miami, you know, even when you equate the resort fee, right? Because you can get a room out here for like $19 a night with a $50 resort fee with some taxes and everything. It's maybe like 80 bucks a night. Try to find a room in San Francisco for 80 bucks a night. You know, I think people need to remember that these casinos are not just in business to take your money at the machines, but they need to keep everything operating. So, you know, prices across the board for everything have increased. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a structure in Vegas which is now more, there's no competing, right? You're gonna what, try a different MGM property, maybe go to a Caesars property. The prices have changed because there's no competition, right? Competition breeds lower prices. Come use my product. Come to my casino. Come to my buffet. Come to my resort. I'm going to give you a better deal than that guy. Just come here, right? When there's no competition for that, think about it. Let's use Caesars as an example, right? You stay at Caesars, right? Or you stay at Link. The prices of food are probably around the same price, but the hotel rooms it's way more expensive at Caesars. So they're just like, there's no incentive for these guys to bring you them deals. Plus, it's a corporate structure, right? Now it is a huge corporate structure. They're big corporations that own these properties, and the customer is not number one, we might not even be in the top 10 in what they need to do, right? So most likely the shareholders are number one. We got to make sure the shareholders are happy, make sure that the shareholders are making money. You know what? If we got to cut back on room maintenance, well then that's what we'll do, because the shareholders need to make their money, right? So that's another problem we have. These casinos, these resorts, MGM, Caesars, they're almost too big to care, right? So if they were broken down, if Caesars goes bankrupt again and needs to get, one of the best things that could happen would be their properties get bought up by like 3 or 4 different operators and not MGM. That would be great, because then that would have 3 or 4 more corporations competing for our business. So Vonda, what's going on? So that's another thing, right? It's shareholders, top priority. Short-term game, you know, top priority, right? Every quarter needs to be a high-performing quarter, or else Wall Street says, you know what, we're going to downgrade your stock. We're going to, you know, and that's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. So if you really want to be mad about something, it's just the corporate structure that they have to follow. There's laws that they have to follow. It's not like they can just do away with a resort fee. No, that's a stream of revenue. They need to be able to explain why they're doing away with that. You know? Well, the Mirage was part of MGM anyway, so MGM, they sold the Mirage because they didn't really want any properties north of Caesars. So being north of Caesars was like, they were like, well, you know, if we sell the Mirage, we can buy Cosmo. And if we buy Cosmo, then we have pretty much all the properties on the west side of the strip, towards the south end. Steve Wynn's still alive, isn't he? His wife died, I think, a year ago or something like that. Although he's not allowed to be part of the gaming industry anymore. Might have to turn it down a bit. They're like, back up on the pavement, I might run you over. So yeah, you know, I gotta put you guys down for a second. All right, now we're back. So we have the crosswalk, and he wants to honk at people using the crosswalk. So get me off the 30. Well, I mean, nobody really wants to hear, like, you know, that shareholders and all that stuff are more important than the customer. You know what I mean? So, but that's the way corporations look at people. Give them the Philly salute, right? So, so as we like start getting hit with a new fee out here for something, it's probably never going to go away. You know, resort fees and But I mean, resort fees have been around since 2008. So, you know, they're nothing new. And, you know, parking fees have been around since 2016. So they're nothing new either. You know what I mean? Traveling, shenanigans, what's going on? So yeah, you know, that stuff. And 2025, it wasn't as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. You know, it was like something like, how many people? 3 million, 3.5 million less, right? I mean, that's not the end of the road. Mike, what's going on? Where do I see? I see Vegas. I mean, it's going to change. I think it's going to be more entertainment than casinos, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, with all these bands doing residencies and, you know, Super Bowls and, you know, World Cups and all that stuff, I see Vegas being more of an entertainment in general capital than just like a gambling mecca. You know? Tattoo, what's going on? Joanna, what's going on? And it really is a city just like every other city, right? There's a lot of different industries that are popping up, you know? There's a lot of data centers that are popping up that are like kind of wasting our water. But, you know, it is just consistently growing. Oh, we got a little issue here. So we just like, as a city, it's growing. More and more businesses are coming here because Nevada's a good tax state, right? So low tax state, whatever you want to call it, much better than California. But I see Vegas in 15 years probably being a little bit more along the lines of like entertainment than just gambling. All right, let's cross the street. Lots of glitching on the east side or the west side. Plus, it's a little bit less time consuming to get down to the A Stadium if we stay on this side right now. Yeah, in case you guys haven't noticed my like Philly accent, I say a lot of words with a Philly accent. It's just the way things roll off my tongue. If it offends you the way I say a state, that's kind of your problem, not my problem. I'm just saying. You know, people have regional dialects. And no matter how long you've been away from Philly, you still speak like you're from Philly. So my apologies. And I mean that very sincerely. Not so secret. Yeah, this area here around Harmon and the Strip is notorious for lagging. All right, hopefully once we're out of here, we stop lagging. This whole area for the past like year and a half that I've been live streaming, outside Planet Hollywood will give you problems, and then it'll move across the street to outside the shops at Crystal's, Bellagio. It's just like a roaming lag zone sometimes. I wish there was a way to know where it would be, then I could like mark my route. But we don't find out until you find out. Tiffany, T. Michelle, what's going on? No, we did not get Hello Kitty yet. We're gonna go do the pop-up casino, and then we'll go get Hello Kitty. I think that's the way we're gonna do it, since Hello Kitty doesn't close until like 9 or whatever. The pop-up closes at 5. So hopefully it'll let me stream in there. But I mean, they let me walk in streaming yesterday. So hopefully it'll let me stream a little bit and play a little bit. I got like a whole big 40 bucks here, you know what I mean? I just totally lost track of the chat here. I think I gotta, like, when we're done this stream, if this or maybe during the stream, because I am having some issues over on my end with this Prism Live, but I'm gonna try to work through it. The chat keeps freezing on me. I wonder if I have to update the app or reinstall the app or something. Kristen, what's going on? It's really not that hot today. It's in the 80s. It's not like it was last week when it was pushing the hundreds. Rob, I'm just going to keep feeding that machine even if I win, just to give it all back so you get nothing. So yeah, last week it was like, I'm not sure if we hit 100 last week or not. We may have the one day. My car said 101 the one day. I don't believe it. You know, the cars are always a little bit off. Tom, it's all depends on your definition of empty or busy and where you're at exactly on the strip at 3:40 on a Wednesday afternoon. You know? So at 3:40 on a Wednesday afternoon, if you were in Vegas, would you be walking on the strip, or would you be at the pool, in the casino, at a conference? I just usually ask that question when people say that, right? Because not everybody spends 24 hours on the strip in Las Vegas, and a lot of people sit by the pool, a lot of people gamble, a lot of people have conferences. You be at the pool, right? It will be 10 before we know it. And I'll be loving every second of that 10 temperature. You know, the strip is like, what, 4 point some miles long, right? And then you have Fremont Street. So when you have all those visitors, it's spread out over a very large area. Mostly at night around the Bellagio, right around here, down here by the Overlook, and this little strip mall here usually gets a little bit crowded. That's where you'll see the crowds. Now, a lot of things have changed in Vegas over the years, right? One of the big things is, if you remember and are referring back to like the great memories of the early 2000s, then you'll probably remember that they didn't have all these crosswalks. So people had to cross the street a lot more at street level. So when the light turned red, you got big crowds that gathered. The light turned green, people started walking, and it started to disperse again. You know, so you had these huge, massive crowds at the intersections, and then the strip just kind of faded out. So it was kind of more of a traffic pattern thing back then. You know, like we go a lot of times on these daytime walks, we go walking through the back of the casinos, especially Park MGM to Bellagio, right? And there's a lot of people that do that. They take the trams places. So those routes didn't exist years ago. As a matter of fact, the full route from Cosmo to Bellagio didn't exist, right? Until MGM purchased the Cosmo. So yeah, sorry the chat's like kind of acting up here. So if I'm not answering so many questions here. 41 and raining. Yeah, I don't want that 41. I take a little bit of rain. I do like the rain out here, to be honest with you. Yeah, there's a Target store right here on the strip, Rob. Right across the street from Park MGM, New York, New York. So this is one of those areas, those crosswalks that usually get pretty crowded right as people are waiting to cross. So, Funsky, what's going on, buddy? I didn't see some of you just come in. So anyone who's came in the chat today and subscribed, thank you for your subscribing. Welcome to the chatters. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, that like button. Anyone who's been here before, thanks for tuning back in. Like I said, I'm having a little bit of an issue here with the chat. Keeps freezing up on me. I have to back out of it, start it back up, but it's a little bit of a pain, but not enough for me to like kind of restart the whole stream. So we'll work on that later on tonight, getting that straightened out. So, hey, what's going on? That's where you learned them shortcuts, Chi-Town girl. Awesome. Glad you're using them. They do, like, they cut time. They do cut a little bit of time. We have that one video where we go from Mandalay Bay, utilize the one tram, and get all the way up to the Bellagio in about 35 minutes, right? So, which I don't think is that bad of time. So, yeah, it's... Kristen, do I see that you got snow? No. It looked like it may have snowed up on the Mount Charleston a little bit more last night. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. But there were some clouds up there this morning that looked like snow clouds around the peak. So yeah, so after we go hit this little pop-up, because I promised we were going to do it yesterday, where do you guys want to head? Preferably somewhere inside, maybe. I don't know. You guys tell me. Going to get 3 to 5 inches this weekend. I'm just going to leave that there, Mud. I'll, you know, it's not an April Fool's joke. You got snowed. Oof. Walk all the way back up Palazzo. We started at Caesars at right outside the Grand Canal Shops. So maybe we could walk all the way back up that way. Yeah, throwing random properties. That's cool. That's cool. What time we got? 46. So we'll go. MGM Grand is right to our left. Maybe we'll walk through there on the way back. Maybe go walk around. I don't know how good the reception is down in the underground down there. I'd really hate to get all glitchy and lose a stream. I have to do I have to do a test one time to check that out. Yeah, Sweet Jimmy After Dark, right? Yeah. So, did you see the video I posted on TikTok earlier about the elevators at Treasure Island? So, I was feeling a little sassy when I made that. I was a little frustrated with getting on and off the elevators there. So, coming in from Anaheim, nice. I think we're going to Anaheim this summer for a Phillies Angels game. I think that's one of the road trips that Jay wants to go on. Yeah. This is that sketch area everyone talks about, right outside of MGM on the side there. It's really only because the crosswalk there, the pedestrian overpass, is shut down. So that's really why it's a little bit quiet right there. Awesome, Joanna. Thanks for joining in. I will see you later. Hey, we have not seen Murakami, have we? Or did we? My memory's going. So right across the street by the construction entrance here, they have this little pop-up. So the reason they have this pop-up for Bally's and Tropicana is to keep their gaming license going. They need to have a certain amount of gambling on site, certain amount of days, on site. So one of those little double wide trailers over there, there's only about 20 slot machines in there. And just not chatty today. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that you got to see us in the pop-up here, because you were the one that gave us all the good information about keeping the gaming license. So we're gonna go over. So straight ahead, that little double wide right in front of us right there is the little casino that we're gonna go check out. I had no idea about them either, but apparently, yeah, to keep a gaming license for this address or the company or whatever, you have to have a certain amount of days, I think it is, of gaming on that site. So that is why they are doing this little pop-up. Why does the north end of the strip seem so dead? Because there's not a lot down there. The casinos are really far apart. Takes you about 10-15 minutes to walk from Resorts World to Circus, about 20 minutes to get over to Fontainebleau. It's a 10-minute walk from Fontainebleau to Sahara. There's not a lot of stores up there. I mean, that used to be the happening end of the strip. You know what I mean? When the Riviera, Sahara, all them places, Stardust, Frontier, when they were all open, that was like kind of a really the busy end of the strip. The south end of the strip really didn't have a whole lot up until around 2000. Well, Center Strip actually. South end of the strip started building up in the early 2000s. The Center Strip built up in what, 2000 and like 2008. When did when Cosmo and Aria opened up? That's pretty much when the Center Strip really started popping. All right, so we're gonna walk through the entrance here, and then we're just gonna go inside this little shower and put a couple hours in the slot machine, and then we can say that we gambled at Tropicana. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. All right, man. Thank you. Must not be too busy. You remembered us from yesterday. Oh, I guess we could have came down here and parked. Now, these are just pretty much basic games that are in here, so we'll check it out. Hello. All right, how you doing? Ooh, let's do this one. All right, no luck yet. Oh, that would have been nice. I don't think so, Kristen. Man, we are nothing so far. This is at the old Tropicana site. There we go. Got 20 back. So the payouts are up there. I think it's like in the airport, you take it over to the lady.
You know the candies can't go with the winnings.
Today's not a good day. Yeah, Mr. George is in the house. George, I ain't giving you nothing, buddy. Yeah, good luck with that, Rob. Yeah, we're gonna do a different machine. We're gonna move over to triple diamonds. Oh man. No problem. It's a hand pay for 18 credits. That would be awesome. Imagine having to walk up the strip now and find a place to cash out on quarters.
All right, we got 29 for you.
All right. Just going right back in here.
All right. 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the digital ones are a little bit flashy sometimes. All right. No, we didn't break it. Oh, that would have been nice. So we are down at the old Tropicana site where they're building the A Stadium, and they have a little pop-up casino in here. They have to keep a pop-up going for to keep their gaming license. So we found this yesterday, and I decided to put like 40 bucks in and see how we're doing. That would be nice. But at the rate I'm going, I don't think so. Oh, there we go. 10 back. Oh, 4 back. The last spin, dude, it better. It better. That's what we need. There we go. We got 10. What, like this? Tap the screen. I normally need to smoke a cigarette. That's what I need to do. Oh. Let's try that again, right? That almost won the last time.
He's gonna go with the car right now. He just maybe.
All right. Yeah, I know it is, Rob. That's why I don't do it that much no more. Funsky needs a Mercedes, so I'm flying everybody out, buying Funsky a Mercedes. Oh. You know, that would have been nice. Come on, can I just roll them up a little bit? You know what I mean?
Color, and my husband's gonna love it. Or actually, I use probably.
All right, back up the. Halfway there. We're halfway there. Halfway, lost half of it, I think. Oh, no love, no love. We're staying on this one. I got a feeling about this one. Back to 72. I know, George. That's why I don't do it too often. Murakami needs a Lambo. Come on. Got $14 left, guys. $14 left. Although this is probably the longest I've played with $40 in a long, long time. All right, up to $15.50. These probably came from freaking Tropicana way back in the day. Oh yeah, it does have a handle pool. But it doesn't work. No, I have not won anything. I'm down $38 or $28. I'm down. Oh. We're coming around. $10 left. Big win here. Oof. I know, so close, so close.
Thank you.
Get it back, quarter at a time. Tap the screen. There we go. We can tap it. Nothing, nothing, nothing. You're right, Birdman. We need like the 9-line ones. Down to $5. Here we go. $4.50. Depending on where you go, Amanda, you can still do that. You still get the free drinks everywhere, free parking. Depends on your status as a player. $3. $1, two spins, two spins. Last one. Oh well. All right. Have a good day. No problem. When's the next time you're doing this? Because you just got to do it.
Nothing's scheduled. Tomorrow's our last day.
Right, and it's just like to keep like your gaming license or something. So right, is that what?
There's some regulatory requirements.
Right. Okay. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right, so that was a bust. There goes that $40. That's like what, 7 Hello Kitty coffees. Coffee time. We can be a winner. So that was cool though. She said it was just some regulatory stuff, right? I don't know. That's why I don't gamble that much, because I really don't have that good of luck when I'm like looking forward to gamble. I usually like lose. It's usually when I'm walking through a casino and I'm like, oh, look at that cool machine. Never saw that before. That's usually when I have some luck. But obviously not today. I don't know. I think someone in here was a black cat, a storm cloud or something like that. It was probably Rob, you know? So, Amanda, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I guess that would be considered, right? I don't know. Thank you so much, Amanda. Made a little back. But no, that was fun, right? So I saw that. Well, Jay had said something to me about it, and then she showed me the video, and I didn't understand what was going on, right? So when we were walking down here yesterday and we walked up to the top of the Oyo roof to look at the baseball stadium, is when we found the casino on the way back. So we went in, but I didn't have no cash on me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna go get a coffee now. Hello Kitty. And over at New York, New York. And then we'll decide while we're sitting down over there having some coffee where we want to go next, right? But I think that was a fun little time. Now, imagine if we were on TikTok and tried to do that. How fast you think my channel would have got taken down? Them restrictions would have came in strong and hard like the other night. No problem. We try to stay up on as much as we can what's going on the strip, you know, Vegas in general. You know, occasionally a little bit of Fremont Street will, if something's going on down there. I don't really live stream down there. There's a lot of good live streamers already down there. You know, don't really need more. I just really like the vibe of the strip a lot better than Fremont. It's more of a kind of chill vibe, you know. Plus I don't really drink, and I just feel like Fremont Street just like is, you know, a lot of people drinking, a lot more people drinking and out of control than I like to be around anymore that I don't drink. You know what I mean? So having a hard time. I got the sun glaring right down on the screen. So I'm having a little hard time seeing the chat. The chat's been a little bit tough for me today. So it just caught up. The chat just caught up. It's spinning by itself now. So, which is good. That makes it a lot easier for me. You know, a lot of people don't do the strip either, right? But like a lot of locals, you know, unless people are in town. Me and my wife, we absolutely love the strip. You know, we've been living here. It'll be 6 years this coming June. And if you add, like, you know, it'll be like since 1990, we lived out here in 97, 98. So, you know, this is our second go around out here. And we just always have loved the strip. I mean, I'm up the strip almost 7 days a week because I work on the strip. My kids work on the strip, and even like on my days off today, I'm up here live streaming. So, you know, Mud, you gotta go. All right, buddy. You know, so a lot of times, you know, we're up here, you know, we park at the Treasure Island, or we'll park at Fontainebleau and walk down, or Sahara, and take the tram down to the south end of the strip. You know, free parking at those spots. Fountain Blue right now, I know we got a couple locals in here. Fountain Blue until May 31st is free parking for locals. Just need to get a player's card, I think. Actually, you may only have to show your ID, but I do know if you have a player's card, it's free parking at Fountain Blue. Yeah, we just found that out, actually. A friend of ours was staying there, and she told us she seen the sign. And I looked it up online and was like, oh shit, yeah, we can. Oh yeah, we want to go up on this one. See it now, I'm getting lost. Yeah, there you go, Alan. You just lost, you just missed me losing 40 bucks at the pop-up. I don't think I was up at all in that whole time. 10 coin wins at the max. Oh, thank you. So now we're going to get some Hello Kitty, Alan. We're going to cut through New York, and get some Hello Kitty. Yeah, you know, Sahara is free parking also for everybody. So Circus. A lot of people forget Circus, right? So the north end of the strip actually has some free parking. Now the Strat, I think, is free parking too, but I'm not exactly sure how that works because they have some kind of license plate scanner, and then I think you have to go to a cashier or something and get it validated or get a code or something like that. So I'm not exactly sure how the Strat parking works, but and you know, a lot of times when me and Jay come up, we if we're at the south end of the strip, we'll park at like Luxor, and if we're hanging out down around there and we're not too far, I'll just run back, grab the car, and move it over to Excalibur, and then I get a whole new 3 hours of parking. So we do the same thing with Park MGM in New York, because the parking garages are right next to each other. It's easy to get in and out. So, you know, because, you know, we'll come up here some nights and we'll do content, and we're like, all right, we're gonna do Mandalay, Luxor, and Excalibur content tonight. So, you know, we may be up here for 4 or 5 hours, and we'll just switch up halfway through. We got the time to do it. You know what? I think I am going to get an iced mocha today. It is a little bit warm, so I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to go with an iced. New York always has quite a vibe in here, man. It's always so lively. It's one of my favorite spots. Have you guys ever been here to the chocolate bar? Jay and you know, Ed, Birds fan for life, his wife and Jay like to go there when she's in town. They get the Reese's martinis, I think it is. Yeah, that's it. They look good. I mean, if I drank it, I might try one, but I don't drink no more, so I usually just go for the go outside and get myself a Hello Kitty coffee. So let's just walk through the food court area. And sometimes they don't like you walking through the casinos with your gimbal and all, so I just kind of keep it low and just walk with a purpose. It's when you're like standing around filming stuff when they really have a hard time, give you a hard time. So New York is a really cool spot, man. So New York opened in 1997, right? And they they put so much effort into trying to make it feel like you were in New York City. They hired a bunch of architects and retired firemen, policemen to kind of help design and give you the feel. So when you're back here in the food court area, and it has all these twists and turns, in the whole casino, there's very few hallways that turn at a 90-degree angle. But especially down here, this kind of makes, they wanted this to make you feel like you were walking through a New York neighborhood. That's why it's designed like this. It has the little side street right here to sit down, you know. And they actually do have some really good prices in here. Oh, this looks like this might be new. So they got a hot coffee for like $5.50 over here. At Greenwich Village Coffee and Shake, they got. I'll have to try that out sometime. But yeah, so they did a lot, and then they opened it up. The grand opening, they had a ticker tape parade and all that good stuff, you know. Kind of give it like a real New York feel. Now, you know, somebody in one of our chats one time suggested that they have like people mug you while you're in here to give you the real New York experience. I don't think that would be such a good idea, but you know, I thought it was kind of funny. Humanity, yeah. Yeah, this is one of our favorite spots too. Now I hated the roller coaster for years, right? I was like, man, that thing kills me. But like a year ago, me and Jay went on it, and it wasn't as bad as I remember. And my back has definitely gotten worse through the years, not better. So I think either they slowed it down a little bit or it's just not as bumpy. So here we are, Hello Kitty Cafe. And we're gonna do iced today. And this might throw them for a loop. So these actually aren't bad prices, right? For like a themed place, $6, $6.50, $7.50 for the coffees and stuff. So they got some really cool. Joy, what's going on? And they got some really cool merch. I got one or two of their hats actually. I actually am a Hello Kitty fan. I had some kids growing up, and you know that stuff. So she's acting like it's New York, New York. She's just gonna button front of line, you know. She must be a very, very important person right there. You can tell. Man, did that send you straight to the chiropractor? I actually felt pretty good afterwards. They don't have the hat I got on here no more. This looks like it's Sonia. I have a sister named Sonia. Hey, how you doing? I am going to do iced cafe mocha today.
Iced mocha?
Yes.
Cool. You're changing it up.
I'm changing it up.
That's
Changing
cool.
it up. They're like, they're not going to know.
I totally thought you were gonna order the hot when I had it ready.
Yeah, we're gonna do iced.
It's spring, it's getting warmer.
Yeah.
Okay, 8:13. Wait, let me fix up. Sorry.
No problems.
Okay, $5.69. Thank you.
You can just throw it in there.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, this place is awesome. See, she was confused. She's like, "You're not getting the hot one?" Nope. So we were about to get it ready for you. I normally always drink hot coffee, but today I'm just kind of feeling. I'm in a chill kind of mood. Oh, thank you. Yeah, everyone should like this video. Everyone should subscribe to our channel too. We had some really good growth yesterday. I was really happy. We had two really great live streams yesterday. A lot of great engagement, and you know, we got a pretty decent amount of subscribers yesterday. So I was really happy when we got home and we were like kind of looking over all the stats and data and stuff. So I'm a mocha person myself. That's me. Oh, I need a, yeah, I need a straw.
There you go.
All right, great, thank you. All right, so Stas, what's going on? All right, now where do we want to go sit and relax for a minute? Open up my Cheers. Let's get out of the sun and I'll do that a little better that way. Cheers. That's a cute little cup, right? Where do we want to go? We want to head up towards like Bellagio, up that way. I got a couple hours today, I think. Well, we're an hour into it. Some point we're gonna sit down inside somewhere and put you guys on a charger and just chit chat for a little bit so that we can keep this going for a while today. So I usually like to sit down back here, give you guys a view of the roller coaster and the Bliss statue. Oh, Amanda, thank you, thank you. Cheers. So the people that work at Hello Kitty there are super nice. A couple of them actually follow us, subscribe to our channels. Same thing at Sweetsin. That's another spot that I go to all the time. And they got great coffee, great desserts at Sweetsin up at the Link Promenade. Chi-Town Girl, you have not seen the Bellagio Conservatory yet, so we're gonna have to definitely take a walk up there then. Not a problem. We'll take a walk and I'll show you guys the back way. This way we stay out of the sun and out of the, there's a speaker right there, right? This is where I think we normally sit. Right over here, right? We'll sit here for a minute and see what's going on. I'm just gonna turn the mic down just a little bit because I got the speaker right next to me. And sometimes you can just like remove the audio and it's not that big of a deal if you get a copyright. But if it's too long, it you gotta like mute the whole clip or cut it out. So let's just get this real quick. And then we'll be on our way in a minute. You've never seen this side of Vegas? Ah, see, we go around and do all these random spots in Vegas. I really just like to go places and chill sometimes, you know? There's a lot of really good spots to chill out here. So this is like one of my favorite spots. Nice. Oh, this is good. This is a good mocha today. So let's go take a walk over by T-Mobile Arena real quick. And then we'll head over to Park MGM. T-Mobile Arena is another nice little spot to kind of chill out. Sometimes, like, I like when they have the different events here and they have all kinds of stuff out front here to go over, check out. A lot of times they have free stuff they're giving away too. Edward, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the support. So believe it or not, I have never been inside T-Mobile Arena. I've been inside Allegiant. Now Jay has been here a few times, and my kids have come here for UFC a couple times. But I have never been inside. Yeah, this is like chill. This is like a nice, quiet, shady spot, right? To just come back, get away from like the madness of the strip, right? Sometimes if you're on vacation or whatever, you just sometimes having a bad day on the slot machines like we just had, right? Lost a whopping $40. You know, it's just nice to go sit down, grab a coffee, cheers, and just kind of relax, you know? They have benches all over the spot, all over the place back here. I mean, we can walk. You can walk around it. There's really nothing back there off of what is that, Sammy Davis Jr. Drive? Is that what it is? No, that's Frank Sinatra Drive right there. I have been inside Allegiant Stadium. Yes, Allegiant Stadium is really cool. The only thing I do not like about Allegiant Stadium is the upper level does not make a complete circle around. There's not a complete walkway, concourse around the top floor, right? Go Birds. George, get out of here with your Raiders, man. Go Birds. Got to point at it now, right? You guys, you might have us this year with the those Dodgers, but you ain't got us with football, bro. So the top concourse at Allegiant cuts off because those windows that face like the strip, they open up and give you a nice view there. All right, you might got us with the Dodgers, George. I'm going to concede that the Dodgers could, but I don't think they will have a three-peat. I really don't think that they will, because that's really hard to do. So I just think that they will do they might make the National League Championship Series, but I don't think that they're going to get into the World Series this year. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my son got me this hat for Christmas. That's my new thing is wearing hats, because I'm kind of thinning with my hair a little bit in the front, and I'm a little self-conscious of it. So I've just been wearing hats. So let's head over to Park MGM. Park MGM is the only 100% smoke-free property on the strip that I'm aware of. No smoking in the casino, no smoking anywhere inside the building. You actually have to go outside to like the rideshare area if you wanted to smoke. So, hey, how you doing, asshole? So, when he needs to buy me your AI jersey. You know what? My other son, who just started working this year for the first time, I'm going to say something to him about that jersey. The Dodgers are just adding everybody. It is insane, the payroll. But, I mean, if you got the money, you might as well spend it, right? I mean, and people want to play for them. So, you can't hold that against them, really. You know? Yeah, I know that's a really nice jersey. Send me a picture of that again, George. I'll show it to him because he's a collector. And you buy me a Dodgers hat, George. If you buy me a Dodgers hat, George, I'll wear it. I'm, no, I didn't give him a thumbs down. I gave him a you're number one. Yeah, I think, well, I mean, Ryan was on here the other day talking about, he thinks there's going to be a lockout in 2027 because of the TV deal, which I don't really know too much about that. So, you know, so we're going to walk the back way so Chi-Town Girl can go see the conservatory. Have you guys, has everyone in here, who hasn't seen the conservatory in here? And who knows how you can walk all the way from Park MGM to Bellagio with about 3 minutes outside. The rest of the time is inside. I did not say I'm not really a Philly fan. Did I say that? I don't know. No, I mean, I'm not a huge baseball fan, so I don't really know like all the salary cap and TV deals and all that stuff that everybody talks about. I like to watch baseball. Of course, you know, being I'm a Phillies fan, the team, but Alan, I wear any type of hat, man. At this point, when you're starting to go bald and you're like, man, how do I hide this? Any team will do. I got Arizona Diamondbacks hat, Utah Jazz. Whenever I like to wear the Utah Jazz hat to piss Jay off, especially if the Sixers are playing that night. You saw a video about how to get here. No, hopefully it was mine. Yeah, I should do like a more comprehensive walk. Man, I got a couple different walks, but you know, rather than cutting it right out of the live stream, I should do like a step by step. Amanda, thank you. Thanks for joining today. It's been a pleasure having you here. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. I don't really have like a schedule. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are always about 100% guaranteed that I'll be live for a couple hours. And then during the week, it's kind of more of a random, time frame that I do live streams. Although I've been trying to do a lot more, and especially now that I don't stream on TikTok anymore, I'm just streaming on YouTube. You know what I mean? Yeah, there are people that just really watch live streams, and then there's people that only really watch like content. Before I started doing live streams, I was always like kind of one of those people. Like I would watch a little bit and be like, oh yeah, okay, you know. But now that I do live streams, I kind of appreciate them a lot more. So we are up here. We are about to walk into Aria right now. As soon as actually, I think we are in Aria, on Aria's property, because the tram is right up through them doors right there. So, oh, these doors are confusing, right? Because normally you push to go out and pull to go in. But when the casinos are in and out each way, I always make the mistake there. Reverend Rob, what's going on? So yeah, I kind of like started really appreciating watching the live streams, because there's a lot that goes into the live streams. You know, people are asking you questions, and you got to be up on your knowledge, right? Make it interesting, right? That's why we kind of make it like we try to do like a community vibe here, right? You guys want to go see something? We'll go see something, right? You know, there's been times we've been walking north on the Strip, and somebody said, "Oh, I wanted to check this out at New York, New York," and we turn around and walk back, right? So, you know, it's always an adventure on here, and we have a great community in here. You know, my mods don't really allow much trolling. You know, sometimes we'll let the trolls play a little bit, but for the most part, as long as you're being respectful in here, we're pretty good. You know, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I'm gonna kick you out of my chat, right? But if you start being rude, well then, you know. I try to be. Sometimes I forget. I mean, I don't know how many times I've said the fountain times wrong, and you know, or dates for the conservatory. You know, that's why I'm so grateful for the mods, especially Murakami. Always right there throwing up the dates, almost like before someone asks, like they know it's coming. Forget Bo knows, Neon knows, right? Nice. So this is one of my favorite floors in all of Vegas right here. This is like quite the optical illusion. Now I have a video on my page of what this looks like from the top. So if you go right up there and look down, it is like really crazy looking. So you go check that video out. I think that's just in the shorts somewhere. Just search Aria probably. But yeah. But you know, I really do enjoy streaming over here on YouTube. I get to show Vegas as Vegas is meant to be seen. You know, strolling through the casino. We don't stop and like film people gambling or anything. We just kind of walk through, right? You can catch how crowded it is, what the vibe is that night. You know, on the other platform, it's all about like showing the floor, right? Oh, we're walking through a casino. Here's a floor tour. Yeah, it's pretty packed in here tonight. You know, that's no fun. You can't see Vegas like that, you know? And, you know, I only been streaming on here since October. I was streaming on TikTok for a year or so, year and a half before that. And it's a lot more enjoyable over here, being able to show you guys a lot of this stuff. George, shut up. Everybody knows you're my bestest friend and we work together and you live in the most hood of hoods of Vegas, Summerlin. George is the king of Summerlin, by the way, guys. Y'all know the king of New York. George is the king of Summerlin. All right, so this is the only time that you got to be outside between Park MGM and Bellagio. It's just this little short little back way through the North LA area. No, Danny wrote me on Facebook last night though, and just said that was pretty cool. So Murakami, I don't think they're bringing that back until the Wizard of Oz is done. So you know what, I wanted to time how long this was, this walk. I say this walk is only about 2-minute walk, but you know, so when it's 109, 110 out and you're trying to get from Aria to Cosmo, this is a much shorter walk. Well, I don't know if it's a shorter walk than the front, but if you're coming from, say, Park MGM, this is a much better way. But if you're heading all the way to Bellagio, this is the way to go, because this will connect us, once we get to Vdara, this will connect us to a pathway that'll take us to Cosmo or Bellagio. And where the pathway splits to take you to Bellagio or Cosmo, that only takes from Cosmo to Bellagio. So you can actually be from the Wicked Spoon in Cosmo and get to Bellagio inside the doorway, not to like the conservatory, but just into the property in about a minute and a half. But this is a nice way to beat the heat. Now the only problem with iced mochas is I drink them so damn fast. Dutch boy, what's going on? How you doing today? All right, we're gonna make a right into these doors. And we are in Vdara right now. So that place right there, the Market Cafe Vdara, they have really good coffee. There's rarely ever a line. Much better than Starbucks, where in the morning time when you walk through here, Starbucks is halfway up this hallway. You can go to the Market Cafe and get a coffee and be in and out. So I did notice this morning, I don't know if it's been there, but I saw some new curved glass. We can take a walk up that way in a little bit. Nice, you sent me a picture of the jersey. Awesome, George, thank you. So here, Bellagio straight, Cosmo to the right. So right now we are technically in like no man's land, even though the floor looks like Cosmo, right? If you go down this hallway, here we can walk down. This hallway is going to take us into Cosmopolitan, lead us right to the Wicked Spoon, the buffet. Then we'll turn around and head back towards Bellagio and check out the conservatory. A stogie with the mocha. You know, I've never really been a big cigar guy. Although Jay, who's never smoked a cigarette or anything in her whole entire life, said something about going to a cigar bar one night. And I was like, all right, yeah, we could check out a cigar bar. That would be cool. But Joanna's back. What's going on? So they moved one of the shoes, you know, the shoes that everyone took pictures with in Cosmo here. They have this one, but you can't get in it. Not like the red shoe that they had in the front. So this one is not bolted down. It's not mounted properly. That's, you know, pretty cool. Get your picture right next to it, you know. All right, so Super Frico right there. And one of the speakeasies is right behind that door. Ski lodge. And this actually looks kind of really cool. The party at Super Frico. 3-course curated dinner and show experience with a slab of ridiculousness. Me and Jay kind of want to see that. We actually did a video on TikTok about that and got a restriction, a visibility restriction for adult type content. Imagine that. So, so we're gonna head back over to Bellagio, and we're gonna go this way. And when we get to the end here, now this is, I mean, this really feels like Cosmo, but it kind of is like no man's land. I learned from you, George. So I wonder how many steps we've done today. We'll do a step count or a step check when we get up to the conservatory. So now we're headed towards Bellagio, and it's like a couple minute walk from once we go into the doorway here to the conservatory. It's really not that bad of a walk. I mean, we have a video from Mandalay Bay to the conservatory, and we timed it 35 minutes. We took a couple trams, I think. So, you know, you can make it up and down the strip in a good amount of time. I mean, that's about 2 miles, I think, from Mandalay to Bellagio. It's probably about halfway. And now we are in Bellagio. So over there, you see that silver door over there? That is an elevator to get up to the tram. The tram's over here to the left through them side, and glass doors right there. And there's another little elevator that'll take you down to Bellagio right there. So it is from where to where, Chi-Town girl? From Mandalay to Bellagio, we did it one time in 35 minutes. If I'm not like sightseeing with y'all, and just do like a regular video from, I think Park MGM to Bellagio is about 15 minutes. Now, if you get lucky at Mandalay and catch the tram, so we started in the lobby, so we didn't know whether the tram was there or not. We waited a couple minutes for the tram, able to get on the tram. The tram from Mandalay Bay to Excalibur is about 1.5 minutes that it takes you to get from Mandalay to Excalibur. So this is the pool area over here, but we got the sun shining in pretty good. So that's the pool area. I wish you could go out on those little terraces, but you can't. But there is a nice patio around the other side, but there's a lot of conventions going on. They got those areas kind of roped off. Am I running? No, I'm not running. I'm walking normal speed right now. So remember, if you're taking this back way, there's not a whole, there's people, but not people like on the strip, you know? And it's more of a straight line than it is with some of the ways to get around on the strip. Let me see. Let me see if I can turn this up a little more. I thought I had it up. What's going on today? All right, how's that? I thought I had all my settings working pretty good. So that should be better. All right, we're done our coffee. That was really good. So there's the chocolate fountain. We'll go over there. Let's cut across the crowd. That is, oh, there's people standing right there. A family. Let's not disturb the family. Yes, that was Hello Kitty coffee. You weren't on for that, Rob? I stopped at the Hello Kitty spot and it really rocked our world that I got myself an iced coffee today. I could have swore you were on. All right, so here we are inside. You know what? Let's start at the beginning, right? So there is somewhat of a beginning of this. So we're gonna go walk around to the beginning. There's a little You know, someone in the chat said, are you getting an iced mocha? And I read that and just thought to myself, you know, an iced mocha actually sounds really good right now. And, you know, you got to change it up every once in a while, Joanna, you know? All right, so when you come in on the right side, this is like kind of the beginning. So the Springtime Symphony says, for centuries, stained glass windows told stories through art. Springtime Symphony continues this tradition, transforming each garden into a living celebration of spring. We welcome you to our enchanting world where stained glass, whimsical sculptures, and oversized music boxes bring this symphony to life. So, oh, the Demolition Derby. We might have to go maybe check that out. No, they're around the same price at most places, Rob. That was Chi-Town girl that said the iced coffee. Yeah, that's right. So there's the ballerina.
I know, but every time I went to take her, and she slid right in the way.
They are what? No, they're about the same price. Some places they're more, some places, I mean, that's like that at a lot of places. I don't understand why an iced coffee ever costs more than a regular coffee, because ice takes up half the cup. But so I do like this better at night. I have to be honest. Hot coffee's much cheaper where you're at, Rob. I mean, the daytime, obviously, because, you know, that's when you would see the birds and everything. That's Bella, the ballerina. Is that like an official name, or is that a Neon City Walker name? Yeah, 4:30 a.m. Mona, what's going on? 4:30 is a perfect time if you're up and capable of walking. So this center area is always so crazy with people getting pictures, right? So in the front of this one, there's a waterfall. When we get around the back, it's almost the same exact picture, just without the waterfall. Now, I like this right here. This one right here, that guy was like, I'm just walking in front of everybody. He's miserable, doesn't want to be here. His wife's dragging him through. So that's a really pretty scene right there. Yeah, I mean, some places, like Hello Kitty, the iced coffee and the hot coffee are the same price. Different places, some other places, I think it's like maybe $1 more. So, there they are over there. His wife looks all happy. He just looks like the most miserable man in the world. So that is the garden table. Inside the little hut is where you can go and have brunch. They're only doing 4 brunches daily here by Sadel's. And $135 per person. Now that it's an experience, right? Think about it. When this display is down and done, there will never be another brunch in this setting, right? So only 4 people per day while this thing is up and running. That's how you and your hubby look when you're there. Boo, what's going on, buddy? So these are all real flowers too, in case for you guys that have never been here. And I'm gonna give you guys a live on-air Neon City Walker nugget. So see how these leaves are moving? That's because that's an air conditioning duct right there. So when it's very, very hot out and you wanna cool down, just come in here, look for one of these vents, bend down to tie your shoe, and suck up some air conditioning. So, like I said, you can come back here and basically get the same exact picture where there's nobody. And man, we really need Teddy to be here. There's lots of people trying to take selfies. And they have this huge stained glass window in the back. You know, me and Jay look like that sometimes. If we're going somewhere I really don't want to go. Amanda, welcome back, welcome back. So we are in the Bellagio Conservatory. This is the spring show. This is a beautiful show. Beautiful display, not a show. Well, yeah, they're accurate. I mean, the numbers don't lie. The numbers surely do show that Vegas is down a little bit, although February of this year, the numbers were up a little bit. So, you know, are we turning around? Hopefully. I can't say 100% for sure if we're turning around or not. We're going to need a couple months of data for that. But, you know, let's see. Here, I got them right here. You guys can see right there. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger. All right, so these are the Vegas tourism numbers for February 2026. So you can see some are down, but most of them are up, right? So those are the Vegas tourism most recent ones. Now, does that mean that everything is fixed? No, it absolutely does not mean everything is fixed, right? It just means that February of this year was better than February of last year, right? So, I think 2025 was more of a correction year and evening out of the numbers. And we're going to see slight increases and slight decreases, you know? And one thing that I try to explain is that when you see the Vegas Strip on a live stream or you're seeing it in person, right? That's a snapshot in time, right? Of course, the Bellagio fountains are going to be very, very crowded right before a show, right after a show, while you're waiting for the show. From 8 p.m. until like really 10:30, even though the shows end at midnight, is going to be the most crowded time out front of the Bellagio because a lot of people want to see the fountain show. Now, that's going to mean that other sections of the Strip may not have as many people, right? Now, for 2025, it was around 7,000 less people per day if you averaged out those 3 million less visitors over 365 days. I believe it was somewhere around like 7,000 to 9,000 less people per day. So, at least what's going on. So that's really not something that you can see, right, on an average day. But we had really busy weekends last year, and we had really dead weekends last year. We had people taking videos at 2 o'clock in the morning in an area of Vegas that never has people and saying that Vegas is dead, right? Jumping on that bandwagon, getting the clicks, Now, Vegas was down 100% true. Dead, collapsed, dying, absolutely not true. You'd have to look at the numbers. If it was 2 or 3 years of numbers steadily declining, I would say Vegas is dying in a dying mode. But 1 year doesn't really mean nothing, especially in tourism. The economy plays a huge role in tourism. So if the economy is going down or people are worried about the economy, you're watching from Brazil, welcome in. If the economy's going down or is not doing so well, people start saying, you know what, maybe I can't afford a trip to Vegas this year for whatever the reason, right? And that's fair, right? We cut back on some trips last year. We wanted to go and see the Phillies and the Sixers in LA and, more than we actually went and did see it. But, everybody, tightens up the belt a little bit when the economy's not doing great. Now, I don't think, hey, Rob, here's the piano bar. Rob's favorite spot in the Bellagio is the piano bar right here. And it is awesome. Me and Rob sat there, had a drink. Well, I had some water. I think he had a drink and listened to the guy play the piano there. So we're gonna walk through. So you can actually get Park MGM all the way to the pedestrian bridge at Caesars and be inside. So we're just gonna kind of walk through the casino here and you'll see it is pretty packed in here, right? So I don't think taking 2024, which was a tremendous year, right? For tourism. But it's the best year coming out of COVID. So that's the peak right now, right? 2024 was the peak. And coming out of COVID, 2023 was probably the first year that people actually started getting and going back out on vacation seriously. And, and then 2025, things kind of leveled off. I think that's really what we saw. We saw a leveling off, a correction from 2024 numbers. That happens. I don't know of any city where it always goes up. Every year is better than the last year, right? I don't know. And Vegas was trending like that, right? But it would always be like within a little bit, a million. It was up 1 million visitors or whatever, right? So I don't know. Take it how you want. I do know that on the internet, social media, negativity gets a lot more views, and a lot of people will create their content to, to get as many views and whatever at whatever the cost is, right? And, I would rather just be like more truthful about it and just say, yeah, we had a down year. Let's see what 2026 looks like. If 2026 is down that as bad as or worse than 2025, then we're in a downturn. Yes, definitely. Does that mean Vegas is dying? I don't think it does still, depending on the numbers. So we are in the Bellagio, Luis. That is where we are now. 2024, was it 2024 that had the Super Bowl? Yeah, I think it was 2024 that had the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. No, 2023 had the Super Bowl, I think, because 2024 had the Super Bowl. I'm all confused now. I do not do buffets. I do not have an opinion on the best buffet because I do not eat buffets. So if you guys in the chat want to discuss what's the best buffet, go right ahead. I hear Wynn and Caesars have great buffets. A friend of ours was just down at South Point yesterday. He said he overate in a message. That's why we didn't meet up last night. And then we also got invited to the Wynn buffet in a couple weeks, but we declined because we're not buffet people. So we said, listen, you guys go to the buffet, we'll meet you after the buffet, we'll go out, have drinks and all that stuff and have fun. So yeah, I like the Hello Kitty KFC buffet. It was 2024, yeah. All right, Murakami, that was right. So 2024 had the Super Bowl, that's right. And 2024, so that's why the February numbers dropped so much in 2025. They were down 12%, I think, in 2025, but that was because the Super Bowl was here, right? Yeah, so I always get confused with that. Amanda, thank you for the support, appreciate it. So yeah, and I always get confused because I'm like, wait, the Eagles won. 2024, no, 2024, the Eagles were the 2024 Super Bowl champion. Wait, hold on, what? I just remember, I always get confused with that. What year is the actual Super Bowl and what year is the Super Bowl for? Now last year, we saw April was it was down a little bit, WrestleMania. So we have WrestleMania coming back. So this April, in May, we'll be able to compare April's numbers and see a year-to-year comparison when the same event was there, right? So we can compare this year's WrestleMania to last year's WrestleMania and see what the numbers look like. So we have there's a lot of information on a lot of stats that go into figuring all that stuff out. So I don't like to just say Vegas was dead or whatever. And I'd rather just be as upfront as possible with those things, right? Because we have a lot of conversations about Vegas being dead or whatever, and a lot of people don't understand the terminology correctly, right? They think hotel room occupancy rates, right? They're self-reported basically. So you can't always trust them, right? And occupancy rates at a hotel are based upon available rooms, right? Rented available rooms. So if a hotel has 1,000 rooms total and no rooms are out of service, they have 1,000 rooms, 800 rooms get rented, that's 80% occupancy. But let's just say there was a flood and 100 rooms got taken out. So that's 900 rooms. And they still have 800 rooms rented out. Well, that's a much higher occupancy rate now because they only had 900 available rooms. So the occupancy rate, that's kind of really, that's an iffy one, right? Because if you guys remember between Thanksgiving and Christmas this year, Excalibur shut down one of their towers for maintenance. So they only had half the available rooms available for rent. So their occupancy rate was really high when they only really rented out one complete tower. So they were technically at maybe 50% occupancy, but on paper it said they were at like 90-some% occupancy. So is it hard to eat dinner at the fountain? I am not 100% sure about that. It's expensive to eat at those fountain restaurants. $25K for ringside at WrestleMania. That is insane. So, yeah, we you know, we talk about that. I don't make that a center point of my content though. You know, whether or not Vegas is dead or not. I let people decide that for themselves by showing it to them and just trying to explain it to them, you know, because I can explain things to people, I can't make them understand it. Who would pay $25,000 to go to WrestleMania? I wouldn't. I don't even think if I was like a billionaire, I would pay I'm not that big of a wrestling fan. I'd probably pay $25,000 to, you know, sit on the sideline at a Super Bowl or something if the Eagles were playing. Bruce, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that so much, Bruce. So that's a pretty cool spot to go at night too. The Green Fairy Garden. You'll pay $25,000 for ringside for a car. Hey, Alan, if you wait any longer, you may be paying $25,000 for your Metallica tickets, man. Bruce, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all the support today. Thank you guys so much. All right, we're gonna go chill over here by the fountains for a couple minutes. I need to stretch my calves a little bit. And then we'll take a walk up by the Hard Rock up there. So this is a great view, especially at night. This is one of my most favorite views on the whole entire strip at night. Amanda, thank you again. Appreciate. I have a video. It's on my my Pocket 3. I recorded like 10 minutes of the fountains one night with the flamingo backdrop and with the neon lights and just cars driving in the back. And all you hear is the fountains. So I looped it for 2 hours and it's like white noise for like going to sleep. I've been trying to think whether or not I should like post it. I don't know if people would actually like that kind of content, but it does help me get to sleep. I just thought, you know, I don't know. I'm always looking at different types of content. What would people like, you know? You know what? While we're here, and we're going to stand here for about 5 minutes or so, I'm going to plug you guys in and charge up for, get a couple minutes of charging going. Jay is great. Jay is great. She's just been really busy. She picked up extra work. She's a teacher, and so she doesn't get to come out and do the lives during the day, but she does come out at night, and she's really fun when she's out here. She keeps me in check sometimes, that's for sure. Thank you, Alan. Joanna, you're not the only person to say sometimes you fall asleep watching our live streams. Yeah, definitely becoming a regular, Amanda. We try to go live as much as we can, many nights as we can, as many days as we can. These are my days off, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sometimes I'm out here at like 6:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning, and we walk around until 10 o'clock. Sometimes we're out, you know, until 11, 12 o'clock at night. So it's always a fun time. Yeah, these fountains are just so relaxing. Circus. I park there sometimes for free. I don't listen. I actually enjoy going in slots of fun. Slots of Fun is the very first place that I gambled at in Las Vegas when I turned 21. Slots of Fun, and then we walked from Slots of Fun all the way down to the original Hard Rock, and we didn't live too far from the Hard Rock, so we were heading that way to go home anyway. What's going on, man?
I was admiring these women.
Nice.
Yeah, man, you're around 51. You're lower than me. Hey, back in '89, they were shaped just like that, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Ah. Josh, what's going on? He's interesting fella right there. He's walking across the fountains. Teachers don't really always like that. That one up top? Yeah, that almost does look like, well, yeah, it's just like a pale pink. It's like a pale pink up there. So, all right, we're gonna walk. Let me make sure I got my microphone jack. I didn't drop it. All right, got the microphone jack, got the charger. All right, we're gonna walk up to the Hard Rock. It looks to me like they put in some curved windows down around the bottom of the base of the guitar. I don't remember them seeing them there, so if you guys remember seeing them there, you guys are paying attention a little bit better than me. So, you got the Vegas Blues. Yeah, Josh, you need to get back here, man. We need to hang out a little bit longer next time. We'll plan a little bit better. I mean, circus is what it is, right? It's nothing spectacular. I don't know if I would stay there. I mean, but I definitely do like to gamble there sometimes. I don't really have that much luck. I really do like inside. It's lots of fun, mainly because they still have the coin slots. Yeah, that'd be cool. Jump over to, I don't know. We'd probably need a plaid to get up enough speed to jump over the fountains with the Tesla, to be honest with you. There's a lot of rumors about people seeing Bugsy walking the halls in the Flamingo. So yeah, I don't know if it's, I've never seen that episode of Ghost Adventures, but I would imagine that Flamingo and Luxor are always two properties that get mentioned as haunted. Yeah. Oh, in Vegas, yeah, we were just at the temporary casino. I donated $40 to the temporary casino down there at Tropicana about an hour ago. Gave it a whirl. Not your room, Joanna. Your room definitely is not haunted. They're giving you the not haunted room. Bruce B, thank you for becoming a member. Murakami, thank you for letting me know. So I don't always see when people become members because I stream through Prism Live. It's a third-party app that attaches with YouTube, some other streaming services also if I wanted to, but it doesn't give me all the notifications. So, yeah, the guitar, the hard rock guitar up there is going to be awesome. Let's zoom in a little bit. Thing is huge. So I have a video of me driving up the strip the other morning on my way to work, and it looks like it's actually in the center of the strip because it's kind of on the elbow, so it gives an optical illusion like it's sitting center of the strip there. You're gonna bring some sage and crystals. It's hugely big. There's the Coliseum. This is Omnia Day Club we're looking at right here. This should be done by fall 2026. Caesars doesn't really have a great scheduling department when it comes to getting their pools together. All right, let's cross. Yeah, right. What was it? The no-go pool last year. That was supposed to open up on St. Patty's Day. That didn't open up until when did that open up? Was it June? That was like three months behind. So, and you would think that they would really want like Omnia Day Pool to be open. You really like spring break just passed. Imagine how much money that place could have made on spring break being the brand new, day club. they're gonna have a walk-up food place on the strip too. Oh, that could be cool. That's gonna be the walk-up bar. I looked at the renderings a while ago, and to be honest, there's so much going on right now with construction that, you know, that's not really a spot that a whole lot of people have always asked about. So I kind of didn't put a whole lot of effort into the Omnia Day Club. Kyle, yeah, no, I agree, man. That thing could be crazy packed, right? So I don't know. I'm not a day club person. I'm not a pool person to begin with. So, like, you know, Jay goes to the pool all the time up here. She goes to Caesars a lot, and Sahara, because they're free, right? Caesars will let pretty much everybody into their pools. You don't even have to be staying there or a local or anything. So yeah, that could be popping the day before the A games and all that stuff. Oh, look, they got like some LED panels out on the Forum sign. Huh. Listen, when I go to the pool, right? When I go to the pool with Jay, I normally go there for about 20 minutes. I put a towel over me so I don't get sunburned, right? And then I'm like, all right, I'm out of here, and I'll go live stream. Saw Shaq DJ at a nightclub. That'd be cool. Shaq seems like a pretty cool dude. All right, so here we got the guitar in front of us, the hard rock in front of us, right? So this thing in person is so much bigger than it looks on any live stream. Any picture I've seen really does not do it justice. Oh, there we go. I think we got some windows being installed. Let's zoom in a little bit. So right at the top of center of the screen, they're installing a window right now. I think that the old marquee sign right here, I think that's just going to be another big giant LED screen. So over here onto the side, right down at the base of the, let me see if I can get my, all right, right there. Got dirty fingernails. Sorry, I was checking the oil on my truck today. That looks like they started to put some curved windows in there also. It is like, what is it, like 60 floors or something like that? So it's like 660 feet tall. Yeah, the strings light up. We've been out here a few times at night when the strings have been lighting up, and in between the floors on the windows, underneath the windows light up also. So those rooms are going to be expensive. So the rooms, they're all suites. Every single room, it's 600 suites or 500 suites are going to be in the guitar tower here, and they're probably going to be running $500-600 a night easily. 42 floors for the guitar. Yeah, that sounds about right, because each floor is probably about 10 or 12 feet. Yeah. Yeah, they are going to be. They're like the hottest. They're going to be the hottest ticket in town, right? And then you turn around and you still got them working on all the rooms inside the Mirage. They gutted them down to nothing. They stripped everything out of there, all the electrical, all the plumbing, everything. So this whole property is going to be like brand new. It's going to be more than a rebrand, right? Because you got new construction and basically down to the skeleton in the Mirage. So that is more than a rebrand. I would say that this almost qualifies as a whole new property, except that the building existed for the Mirage, right? So, and this area right here where the guitar is, that is directly over where the volcano used to be. Yeah, Bruce, and then right out here in front, where we're looking at right now, where that yellow crane is, that is going to be a pool area too, somewhere in there, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'm not sure what they did with the pools in the back. I think I did see a video that they did like tear them up and they're going to be putting in new pools. It'd be cool if they did the pools like they did at the original Hard Rock with the sandy bottoms. That was always cool. Rob, all right, man. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I think I'm going to do about another 15 minutes and then take a little break. Take a little rest. My throat, I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. I want to go hydrate and relax, get some air conditioning, and then maybe come back on around like 6, a little after 6 for like another hour or so. Wasn't really super prepared. Yeah, I know. I need some honey lozenges. So maybe go get like a honey tea or something like that. Skip a coffee, grab like a honey tea. So we did like 4, almost 5 hours of live streams yesterday. And then again today, another 2, probably 2.5. So let's go in the center here. Because we can get, we'll walk up by Venetian, get a good shot up here at the Venetian and of the other side, and then that's where we'll end the live stream from. So yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna walk across the street, the light's gonna turn green and they're gonna run us over. All right. Blackjack in the shade. Sammy, I blew all my gambling money at the pop-up, man. $40. I'm not a huge gambler, by the way, guys. I rarely gamble, so that $40 in that pop-up was like, more than enough for me. I'm not getting no free sweets, that's for sure. So let's get past here. Remember, when you're walking past Casino Royale here, Casino Royale, you can get a free $20 and play. Just go in, you get yourself a player's card. If it's your first time signing up, you can get your first $20 loss is on them. If you put $20 in the machine, you hit 0, it credits you back up. So you just got to run that initial 20 without putting any other money in. Yeah, there was a guy and a girl in there when we were in there, and yesterday when we found it, there was like 2 people in there. I talked to the security guard real quick yesterday on the live stream, and And he said, you know, they had some people in there at lunchtime, probably from the A's stadium. So, so there we go. Yeah, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. I want to thank everyone today for your support. Everyone who has subscribed, hit that like button. Everyone who has thrown in the super chats and the memberships. I appreciate all that. You know, never necessary, but if that's you feel you want to support us that way, really appreciate it. We had a lot of fun. We hope you all become regulars on here. We have a great chat. I think we have a great chat. Everybody gets along. Even when we disagree, we keep it very cordial. You know, no disrespect. We try to keep as much politics out of it as possible. No politics, no religion, none of that stuff. No hate talk, none of that. We keep it all. BP, what's going on? San Fran, the coldest. Wasn't the coldest winter I ever had was summer in San Francisco. I lived that last year. So let's turn around and see. So last week we caught them on a swing scaffold out here working on the side of the building, and it was really, really cool. Now another thing that you guys need to know if you're going to be out here soon, and I have no idea when this is going to open back up, but the sidewalk in front of the Hard Rock is closed off. And thank you, Josh. So you have to cross over here. So I'm going to show you guys. You have to cross if you're coming down from Treasure Island. You're going to have to cross the strip over to the Venetian. No idea how long that is going to be like that for. So let's go walk over there, get a view of the Hard Rock from the north side, and then we will.
Or the one right behind us.
Then we will log off, and I'm going to go get myself something to drink. Like I said, I'm starting to get a little hoarse. So this is where we got to cross. I'm ready to walk to Walgreens or whatever. So we're going to cross over here. So that's where the sidewalk's crossed off, where you used to go into the driveway at the Mirage. I'm thinking it's probably going to be closed off until they get the front of the building closed in. So maybe, I mean, I can't imagine having this closed off and F1 all together. I mean, that's going to be a freaking disaster. But who knows? I don't really want to start talking about F1 yet, right? We still got a few months before we have to talk about F1 and deal with that. All right, so make sure you cross on the crosswalk here too, because these cars, especially at night, a lot of the cars that are turning into the Venetian, the taxis especially, will just make that left-hand turn. So make sure you use the crosswalk signs here, signals, whatever. So hopefully we don't have too much sun glare. Let's move over to here. All right, so that is the backside with the tower cranes. I don't know, I kind of really like the backside, looking with the tower cranes, seeing all the construction that's going on. There we go. See, what are they doing over there? Oh, yeah, there are some guys up on a swing scaffold up there today, too. There they are. So they have to install the glass from those swing scaffolds. That's probably most likely an elevator shaft or a stairwell going up right there where they are. Elevator elevator shafts and stairwells have to be encased in concrete. Ha ha! That's a little Neon City Walker After Dark comment there. So yeah, so that's the center core right there where the guitar strings are. That's probably the main elevator shaft. Today it's not so bad. Today it's a little bit more of the wind, Chi-Town girl, that I would be worried about. And then you got the man hoist over there. That's the elevator that takes you on the outside of the building for the workers. So I used to install those swing scaffolds. I worked for a company called Safeway back in Philly years ago, and we would install them on the side of buildings when they had to like do glass repair and stuff like that on the high rises in Philly. Crazy work, crazy work. Fun work, but get your adrenaline pumping, that's for sure. You get used to working off them things though. But all right, so I'm gonna flip this around real quick, and there we go. So I almost tripped over the curb. So get out of the sun. All right, I'm gonna go grab myself something to drink, maybe take about 15 minutes, half-hour break, and most likely be back on. Go live again, be out, you know, till maybe 7:30 if I get back on. So I'm gonna charge up for about 15-20 minutes, get something to drink, and let my voice rest for a minute, and I'll see you guys shortly. All right, so thanks for joining. Make sure you have your notifications set on too. So Joanna, if I don't see you, you have a great evening. Everyone have a great evening. Appreciate all the support.